So, I wanted to share a testimony of sorts. Last night, I got into it with somebody close to me, and we were just going back and forth, saying mean and hateful things to each other. I was not acting very Christianly. I was not being a good example of a faithful person. I gave into my anger, and it just wasn't a pretty moment. Not a moment that I'm proud of. And anyway, after a while, I ended up taking a drive to a church nearby where I live for some quiet time with myself and with the Lord. And I sat in this church parking lot, and just talked with God for a little while. And I noticed there were some cars in the parking lot, but I didn't really think anything of it. I was just focused on trying to resolve this issue and asking God for guidance and to help me with my anger and to make me a better person spiritually, because I'm really working on my heart posture. But obviously I wasn't doing a good job in that moment. Anyway, I guess it was about 30 minutes or so in, and I saw people start pouring out of the church, a group full of ladies. I guess they were having a ladies' night, small group, and one of the ladies came up and knocked on my door and asked me if I was okay, and I explained to her that I had gotten in a argument with someone, and I was just taking some time to be alone. And they prayed with me, and we chatted for a bit. And after they left, I continued to sit there in prayer and talk with God. And in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I like to look at the night sky and just look up. For some reason, it reminds me of that movie, Don't Look Up. But I'm always looking up. I love the night sky, and it just makes me feel closer to God. And I'll show the picture at the end of the video, but I looked at the moon. The moon was very bright, and there was these trails. There was a horizontal trail, plain trail, and then there was a vertical one, and they formed the shape of a cross, and it was really pretty. And I'm sure some people say they're just plain trails or whatever, but I feel like nothing is a coincidence. And so that was just a sign to me that God was listening to me and that God was there with me in the moment. And I continued to sit in the parking lot. I think I was there for an hour or so. And it was just nice to be with the Lord and be with God and to feel seen and to feel heard. And then I left. And then today I went back and spoke with the pastor of the church. The ladies had invited me to go and speak with him. And we had a nice discussion. But it just goes to show that when you pray, even like in the hard moments, because I was constantly praying. I was praying throughout the argument. I was praying after the argument. I was praying in the parking lot. I was praying when I got back to where I was. I prayed until I went to bed. And I woke up with God in mind this morning, and actually came across a TikTok video that inspired me to be a better woman of Christ and to set a better example. And then I went to that church and talked to that pastor, and it was just kind of full circle. So I don't know, maybe it was an event that needed to happen to kind of wake me up and hold me accountable, but also to bring me closer to Christ. And so I don't know, I just wanted to share that, and I'll share the picture too.